Hello, everybody. This is the Evolve Your Fitness podcast. I'm your host, Jake Dickinson, and I'm here with Craig Howard, longtime affiliate owner. I believe he's been affiliate owner for 20 years now, right?
Yes, I'm in my 20th year of affiliate ownership,
Uh,
21 years as a gym owner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Craig's had multiple teams and individual and Masters Games athletes, and also has hosted an open workout. I've got him on today. We're going to talk about the open, why it's so important, and I think Craig's one of the people that can speak most passionately about it, and from most experience and knowledge base. So,
All right, that's nice. What a nice compliment. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Craig.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, first up, are you training today? And if you are, what are you doing?
Yes, I am training today, and I don't know what I'm doing. Now you put me on the spot because I got to look at today's class workout. I'm going to do today's class workout, whatever it is.
Okay.
And then, and so I train on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay,
So
cool.
I wait until the gym clears out, and I go in when it's empty and nobody's there.
Yeah, that's your
On Saturdays. That's my Saturday.
That's your freebie day as the affiliate
Yes.
owner. Kind of get a
Yeah.
break. I like it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice. I've got a rest day today. Kind of for the same reason. It gives me a little bit of a free. I coach the one class and then I'm done for the day, and it lets me unplug from the gym a little bit. But yeah. Yesterday I'm always like 2 days behind everybody because I train pretty much alone, but I do everything that the class does. So yeah, I had Wednesday's class workout, which was a partner style. So I just set a clock for every 6 minutes. There's 9 shuttle runs, 36 feet down and back, 12 burpee box, and then 15 chest to bars, and 5 rounds. So
it's a tough workout.
Yeah, trying to get the chest to bar volume up, getting prep for the open. We kind of, I would say, don't do a ton of, coming from like old school CrossFit, as many regular pull-ups and chest to bars as we used to. We do a lot more rope climbs, mix those in, but as the open comes up, you got to touch up on it because you know it's coming.
Yeah, you do. There's like 3 or 4 movements that you guaranteed are going to be in the open. and those you should at least have down. Burpees being one of them.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Thrusters probably another one, and pull-ups or chest to bar pull-ups is the other one. There's maybe 1 or 2 more that you could say without a doubt will be in the open.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit over the years with the 5 weeks to the 3 weeks, because it used to be like you could pretty much predict all 12 of the movements or whatever. But
yeah, but 3 weeks now, it makes it a little bit different. They cram it all. They try to cram it all in, and they can't put everything in.
Yeah, well, that's actually one of my questions. We'll start off with that since we just touched on it. But how do you like the 3 weeks versus the 5 weeks? Now, there's been
I'm a fan of the 3 weeks as an affiliate owner.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Diablo makes the open a big deal. It's our opportunity to bring our community together for in a fun environment with a workout. There's very few, there's a couple more throughout the year, but really the open is the one that kind of brings our community together and gets us sets us up basically for the rest of the year in terms of our fitness and working out together and participating, vicariously in the game season, whether, we have competitors that go on to the next level or maybe just even getting excited about watching the games. So it's a big deal for us. And 3 weeks though is about all I can take as an owner, because the extra 2 weeks just really those were long seasons, and you're just because an owner, I like to do the Friday Night Lights, and then we have a makeup day on Sunday for the early morning people, a Sunday fun day, and doing that for 5 weeks in a row is tough.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks is good in terms of competition side. It probably we would be better served, I think, if we went 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, let me just add though that this year the age group quarterfinals are at immediately after the open, so it's almost like we get a 4th week added to the open this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of the athletes get burnt out too over the course of 5 weeks, and with whatever our events are at our gym, we always try to set it up so that it's not so painful that the next year the people won't want to do it. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's like, hey, we're gonna do this every single year. So like let's not kill ourselves this year, whether it's Murph, whether it's the open, whatever. We're gonna do something that we will feel excited to go at it again next year.
yeah.
You
And
know?
that's yeah, it's good. And that's it really is as affiliate owners. That's what we're trying to do is keep people engaged.
Mhm.
I think about the open as um, and the whole CrossFit Games, creating fans for the CrossFit Games is another kind of hook in our members.
Mhm.
If I I had one of my members that's she's 63 now, 62 or 63, and she posted in our group in our member group chat. She goes, I'm kind of jonesing out here. I need to know, am I going to be able to go to 26.1, which is being held at Moffett Field, which is about 40 minutes away from Diablo. She goes, am I going to be able to go? Are we going to be able to go down and spectate this thing? I absolutely have to know. Well, that's a
Oh,
member that's 62
that's
and has been
awesome.
with us probably about 6 or 7 years, but is like enthralled with the competition enough to know, to want to, make sure, hey, I can get in and see this. And that to me is like, oh, she's in. Like she's CrossFit's part of her life for the
Yeah.
rest of her life.
No, that's really cool. I didn't even I, I've never even thought about that. I know it happens for you guys a lot, but the opportunity to get to see an open announcement, since so many members have taken part in the open,
Hmm.
how that actually could be more exciting than even getting to go watch the games.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
never even thought about it
Right.
like that, but
It's
you
their
know,
chance to see the stars and like be part of it. They watch them, and CrossFit, has done a brilliant job. Some of them you like more than others, but overall, in terms of generating energy and enthusiasm and excitement, those open announcements are awesome. They're just long enough to keep you engaged, and the energy and passion, is unmatched in those things. It's pretty freaking cool.
it is. It's awesome. And anybody who's done the open before, and this is why it's so important to not burn people out and have them repeat the next year. But um, everybody knows how nerve wracking it is to do the workout, and so I think when you see the pro athletes show up and not even know the workout and then have to be told it and then do it, I think a lot of people can put themselves in their shoes and go like, "Oh my
Oof.
gosh, I can't imagine."
In the experience that I've had with the open announcements, we've done two of them. The
Two of them.
athletes
Oh man.
the athlete doesn't know the workout.
Hmm.
Nobody, we don't know the workout. The all the camera people, nobody knows the workout except for Dave and maybe one or two others. And they tell us what equipment we have to have. And it's it when the last one we did at Diablo, it was so anxiety inducing because you got to make sure that you have judges, and you got to have the right judges, and then they bring you into a room about an hour before the actual announcement itself, and they tell you what the workout is, and they say you cannot, and no phones, no nothing. People can't, they turn in their phones go away, and it's only like 4 or 5 people that you're allowed to have in that room when they tell you what it is, and that gives you the chance to boom, go through the scorecards, and then the person that's going to do the open announcement, the individual who's saying it, has to kind of go through and say it over and over and over again to be ready to prepare to say it on the camera, and it's a live announcement, and
Yeah.
it is like, dude, literally, I personally was sick to my stomach, just kind of making sure this better go, this better go, this better work, this, don't, the person we had say the announcement, and it, better not mess it up.
What years did you have open announcements?
Ours was back to back, so we did I want to say 19.1 was the first one.
Is that the
Um,
snatch, burpee over the
oh my God.
bar muscle up, burpee over the bar?
Dude, how can you remember these workouts? I can't
Uh,
remember.
I don't. I'm not normally very good at it, but that one that workout's awesome.
Yeah, it was, no, I wanna say because I think it had a wall book, so it must not have been 19.1, may have been 19.3. It was one Lauren Fisher and Alessandra Picelli, and there was, not handstand push-ups, but maybe wall walks. It may have been a wall walk workout.
They,
And it graduated and then it went into handstand walks. I ended up doing handstand walks at the end.
was it? Oh, it was handstand push-ups and deadlifts into um, deadlifts and
Yes.
handstand walk. Yep, I
Oh my
remember.
god.
Double Diane. Yep,
Brilliant. Yes. So
yep.
anyway, and that was, and I remember getting a call after driving, to the airport with Alessandra and Lauren Fisher, taking Lauren back to the airport so she could fly home. And I got a call from Justin Berg,
Hmm.
who was the games director at the time. And he said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, we watched it. We're not entirely sure that some of the, I think it was some of the, wasn't hands, maybe hands pusher to the wall walks were legit,
The
got all the
the
way to the wall, the camera angle. We may have to adjust scores." And the girls are sitting in the back seat of my car as I'm taking this call. I'm like, "Okay, okay." And they're like, "What's he saying?" I go, "Oh, nothing. He's not saying anything." I don't want to crush them. There's,
yeah.
I
Cross
said,
that
"There's,
bridge when it comes up.
exactly." Then there ended up being no adjustments, but it was just one of those things. Like, oh man,
Oh,
that whole process, I was just
yeah.
so relieved. And then what happened was we got asked to do another one because someone backed out, for 20.3. So we ended up doing one in January, February, I guess it was February, which was the 2019, because then the
Hmm.
2020 was in the fall,
Yep.
ironically. Fortunately, too, I'll say, because COVID would have made the open announcements just brutal.
It would have
Remember,
ruined the season.
it would have ruined the season.
Yeah, we'd have never
Um,
been able to pull it out. You
right,
know.
because it happened literally when COVID came came out. So, but the 2020 Open was when they were thinking about switching to a fall Open,
Hmm.
and
Which
that
I
so they
love.
would,
I love
yeah,
that
I
concept,
like
but
that idea too, right? Because then you can have the athletes do more competitions throughout the season before the games.
yeah, clear their plate of
Yeah,
worries. Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
so we did one in October. So we did one in the two in the same year essentially, and it was because
Oh my
someone backed
gosh,
out. Yeah.
that's wild. Yeah, that's that. Actually, it's funny. I have that October or March thing written down. I know right now it'd be hard because I think Rogue has their big competition in October,
Hmm.
and I'm sure that CrossFit is friendly with them and works around their schedule as well. But I personally love the Open in October because March for us is spring break season. Everybody's going on vacations during that time. Us personally, we're in the Midwest. It's cold. We haven't been running a whole lot. Maybe a couple shuttle runs here or there, but
Oh yeah.
not like we normally do. And yeah, I just feel like it's not always the best time for fitness for
Well,
us.
well,
You know.
what's great about it is then these competitions these semifinal competitions that we have now, um, they're all trying to scramble to adjust to the CrossFit schedule, find venues and everything else. If you had to open a little bit sooner, it would make it much easier for those competitions to really put on an awesome event and have a cool venue for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and they're having to do their qualifiers before the Open starts, and then they're trying to throw their event in between quarterfinals and the
Oh
games,
yeah,
whatever,
that's right.
all.
That's right. They have their qualifiers as well that they have to do. I've got some athletes in our gym, 20 athletes or so doing the Northern California Classic
Okay, yep.
qualifiers right now, and I'm a little bit irked by it, honestly, because it to me it's a little bit of a takeaway from the Open because I'm trying to drive as much attendance as I can to the Open,
Mhm.
and I have 20 athletes that are influential throughout our gym and include some coaches. They're focused on the NCC qualifiers, and I get that NCC has to do that.
Yeah,
They have to do their qualifiers early, primarily because they need the cash so that they can they can host their event.
yeah, yeah. So the
um,
economics are people want to always want to talk about money and money grabs and this that and the other thing, but the economics drive all of this. If it doesn't make any money, people just aren't going to do it, and then we'll have
That's
nothing to
right.
do. You know?
That's right. It's like it goes from like a competition where you can make a little bit of money and bring the community together to a very expensive wedding where you get nothing out of it except a good time, and and no
Yeah,
one wants to keep
yeah,
hosting. No one wants to keep paying for and hosting
yeah,
weddings.
yeah. Exactly. Um, well, this gets into our main topic, which is why is the Open so unique and important? I was hoping you could speak to that. You know.
Yeah, it's it, well. First of all, we've been doing it since 2011, so it's a tradition now. It's become a tradition now. 15 years is the 15th Open. So there's that, obviously, but it is the ultimate manifestation of what we do in the gym. Meaning, and representation of the methodology. So the methodology allows it to happen, and the methodology allows it to happen because it's measurable, observable, and repeatable. And because it's measurable, observable, repeatable, we can then have someone uh, in India do the same exact workout with the same rep scheme, and it's going to essentially do exactly the same work because it is measurable, observable, and repeatable. All of the movements, all of the standards. It's a unique and distinguishing characteristic of CrossFit, so that makes it cool. Um, but the fact that it is global and that we're all coming together as a community to do the same workouts, it's like you see it in your gym every day. It's like going to a class with people. My 5 a.m. class or my 4:30 p.m. class, two of the biggest classes that I have at Diablo. I'm bringing all all levels of I want to say society in there together.
Mhm.
From the police officers, the first responders, to the doctors, to the tech bros, to like nurses, and to stay-at-home moms, and like all of them are coming together. Every class, and really sometimes I've stayed at some industries and some jobs that they come from. Some of them are even just more mind blowing when I talk to my members. I go, "You do what?" And they all come together and work out together, and we're basically expanding that worldwide, globally, because we can, because of the methodology itself and the principles of methodology. We can do that and do it for 3 weeks, and kind of a celebration of what we do. uh, I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not the CrossFit Games Open, it is the CrossFit Open.
Mhm.
It happens to be also, because it is measurable, observable, repeatable, the first step toward competing in the CrossFit Games. But
Yeah.
for the, we and what we've really started to embrace, and Diablo's been competitive on a lot of different levels over the years. But it is more than that for us. It's the chance for our community to come together and really test their fitness um, with each other and with the rest of the world at the same time.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I think not enough emphasis gets put on that word open, right? We are
Yeah.
unique in that it is open to everybody. If you're working out in
Yes.
if you're working out in your garage, take a video. You can play. Um, it's open to everybody, from the best person in CrossFit, the person who will eventually win the CrossFit Games, down to the person who finishes last on the leaderboard. Um, only did one rep on the first workout and then skipped the next 2 weeks or whatever, right? Like, um,
And what's
no other.
neat now, it's neat now too. So they've got the versions of the workouts,
Mhm,
which are great, and that is inviting to a lot of people. Then they have the fundamentals level.
mhm,
And I had members that, we do host Friday Night Lights, and we have fundamental people doing fundamentals that are competing on an intramural open team, doing workouts, and their teammates are shouting and screaming at him because we give points. We score those fundamental workouts towards the intramural open team, and it makes it so much fun. And then of course you have adaptive athletes. I've got two or
mhm.
three adaptive athletes at Diablo, and
Yep.
let me tell you what, you know we talk about 3 weeks versus 5 weeks, and the pain in the ass for the affiliate owners, like quarterfinals and semifinals. And then the adaptive athletes are pains in the asses too, because I've got to do the quarterfinals and semifinals for them too,
Yeah. Yeah.
which it's freaking awesome. But I got to make sure I got judges there. I got the affiliate owners got to do
Yeah.
it all. And let me
Starts to
tell
be a lot of weeks out of the year.
it does. But let me tell you what, there is especially the adaptive athletes. They're like, there's nothing more special than doing a quarterfinals or semifinals, video workout with the adaptive athletes. It's there's just something really special about that.
Yeah.
Um, all and but the entire process
That's cool.
is a kind of essentially a celebration of CrossFit and what it means to everyone, from the community side of it to the health and fitness side, and even if for the top athletes, the competition side.
Hmm. Oh, it's awesome. And we haven't had the pleasure of yet, or the privilege rather of having any adaptive athletes here. But that's as you say that, I realize that's an experience I haven't yet got to have, and hopefully in the future. Um,
I do know that if you want to, Kevin Ogar is always looking for judges and support staff
who
for the wheel
judges?
wide.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
if I'm ready for the judges heat.
I sat at a table with Kevin Ogar in Albany, and he was trying to recruit me to come down and judge the adaptive athletes. And Kevin Ogar, for the people that don't know it, is an adaptive athlete himself, and he organized the Wheel Wad Games, which now is CrossFit Games Adaptive Athlete Competition. Runs an amazing competition, but he said, Craig, there is nothing more fun to come down there and no rep adaptive athletes. he is He's the most humble, funniest guy, and that statement in and of itself, I was kind of taken aback by it, but then I realized that's exactly what adaptive athletes want,
Yeah.
meaning they don't want to be treated any different than anybody else,
Hmm.
and they are fierce competitors, and which makes it even more exciting. It's just the connection there is awesome. So I do know that he is looking for people to come down and no rep adaptive athletes at the wheel one competition.
I'll have to spread the word.
Yeah.
Judges are a special breed. Anybody who volunteers to
Well,
judge, I mean, we couldn't be more thankful for them. It's crazy that nobody gets more shit. Um, who is? I mean, they're literally more vital to the competition than the athletes themselves. Without a judge, you're just out there doing whatever. It's
and they
yeah.
do, and they get abuse. From the athletes are always pretty good about it. It's rare that there's athlete abuse. Occasionally, you get the athlete that's like, you didn't explain it to me right. But for the most part, they get called out by the cameras that are
Yeah.
viewing from different angles, and then fans and everything else.
Yeah.
But
And it
what's interesting is in the open, at Diablo we have intramural open, and we'll divide up in teams. And the scoring opportunities that we have are for participation and performance, and then we do some specialty scores too. I can talk about, but the participation ones are essentially signing up for the open, and then two, showing up for our Friday night lights, and we give each of the teams points for that, so they're encouraged to try and drive their teammates to come to Friday night lights events rather than doing it on their own. But the other one we do is performance, and one of the performance categories we have is number of times you judge.
oh,
And so,
nice.
yeah, so we give points. Your team can earn points based upon the number of times that people judge. We know
Okay.
what that done for us. That simple little shift, and we did it about 3 years ago. I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. We added judging in as a category on our intramural open. We no longer had a shortage of judges,
Yeah. That's awesome.
and so you go in and you sign up for Heat at Diablo on the whiteboard when you walk in for Friday Night Lights, and all the judges' spots get filled up first. Um,
That's awesome.
but here's even more amazing when we do a draft. So we do a draft for the teams, and we tell them what the scoring opportunities are going to be, and it is it's literally, it's hilarious how the judging
people
how
get
the
scooped up.
how people get scooped up, and
Yeah.
you'll see the top athlete gets picked, and everyone's, oh, okay, that's a good pick. And then the top scaled athlete gets picked, and then somewhere out of the blue, one of the team picks one of the top judges, and the other team's like, oh man, that's right, I forgot about the top judges. And they
Uh,
score so much points for your team, and it makes the draft fun. It makes fun that the judges are champs at Diablo.
yeah, that's awesome. We just make everybody has to judge. Everybody does it. Like you just flip flop. This heat judges this heat, and
Oh,
then
that's cool.
I just set it up because I think it's important for everybody to understand standards and just go through that. Um, it's actually um, an easy piece of education that you can cover as an affiliate owner in that event of teaching people about standards, because it's one of the times of the year where like you've been harping on people all year about getting lower. And then they're like, I don't see the point. But then you put it in competition and they're like, oh, I get it now. And then when they look at somebody else and they see them getting well below parallel, oh, I get how I'm supposed to. Yeah. And sometimes it just helps things click. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
would agree with that. And here it does. What's cool about that? Yes, like that's the kind of the realization thing. And there's some people that won't sign up because they're afraid of that.
hmm
And we encourage everybody. Look, it's everybody's got to face the music at some point. I don't like getting no rep myself, and I will choose judges that aren't afraid to no rep me.
yeah, you have to
Um,
as an owner.
right? Yeah, you do, and you got to set the example. But the other thing it teaches my coaches like the importance of being vigilant in class with respect to range of motion and those things. We there's a balance, and this is stuff I've talked to my coach about. There's a balance between creating the best hour of the day for people, because people come in and it's like they come and they get their workout, they mingle with the community, they leave there feeling awesome, and you want them as a gym owner. That's what you want, um, balanced with holding the standard and
Mhm.
being up in their space to get them to make sure they're squatting deep enough during their wall balls, making sure that they're standing fully upright for their burpees. And we as a coach, to that's that emotional intelligence, kind of understand. All right, I've told them twice. Man, that face they made the second time, I told them I probably shouldn't tell them a third time. And so,
That's you don't at that point you don't have to tell them. You just go and get the butt ball and be like, here, you're just gonna go till you hit this.
yeah, yeah. And some gyms are harsher than others. I would tell my coaches, tell them 3 times, and then let them have the best hour of the day.
Yeah. We're probably on the harsher side of things. I'm not gonna lie. I try to hold a pretty good standard. But that being said, you have those people that they're not getting below parallel, or maybe they're newer and they're just struggling to keep the format of the workout in order or whatever. Those are the battles that you just like, we'll let this slide until that person has enough wherewithal. They're just trying to not let this ball hit them in the face. Um,
Right.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna harp on them too much about getting too low. We'll cover that once they feel a little more there.
Right.
You know.
And
So
there's always the opportunity after class when things have cooled down, settled down a little bit, to have the conversation.
mhm.
And again, that also takes special skills on the part of the coach to be able to say it in the right way that doesn't offend, and gets people to understand the importance of holding the standard.
Yeah, yeah, that's where your charisma comes into play.
That's
Um,
right.
um, there was something you said earlier that I wanted to cover, and I don't recall where it went. Um, shoot, that's all right. Maybe I'll remember as we go along. You said you do Friday night lights, and then you do a Sunday morning thing.
Yeah, we do. So we started that one last year, and it was a huge hit. Friday Night Lights was a challenge for our morning classes. You have those, the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. people, and that, that's they go to bed early.
Yeah.
That's their jobs, and so they come in. It was challenging for them to come to our Friday Night Lights. And admittedly, they were concerned about performance as well. Like, I'm not a I don't work out in the evenings. So what we decided to do was offer it. We were going to do one of two things: have the open in class. In other words, put the workout on Friday
Just
and
do it all day.
let people do it in class, and then and then still kind of have a Friday Night Lights. What we were worried about was that would take away from the attendance and the excitement of Friday Night Lights. And so what one of my coaches suggested was like, let's do a Sunday morning, like a Sunday morning at and I think we do it at 10 or 11 a.m. And that gives an opportunity for people to come. We'll call it Sunday Fun Day.
Hmm.
That was a huge hit with people. The morning
Nice.
people were excited to come in. They said, "Yeah, I can come in at a Sunday, late morning, and way better." And those turned out to be a lot of fun. It went down easy. It wasn't as much pressure as the Friday Night Lights. We didn't make it as much of a big event, but it was we put the heats up, and we'd have 3 or 4 heats of people, and we had way more participation than we
Nice.
did in previous years as a result. It was pretty easy to do.
Yeah. No, I like that. We do Saturday morning.
Oh, okay.
And we started doing that just because I noticed like we were doing Friday Night Lights before, but Midwest work culture is pretty tough, I would say.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people, they just work a lot, rain or shine, no matter what. And a lot of people were just like by Friday night kind of burnt out on the week.
Oh,
And
interesting. Yeah.
I was kind of like, man, it just doesn't feel like this is their best opportunity. They just got done working a full day a lot of times. So we switched it to Saturday mornings, and a little bit more excitement there. And then
Are
I
you
do
are
a
your are you, are your Saturdays normally pretty busy, just in general?
yeah, decent. We usually do like over 20 people in a
Yeah,
class, which I know for you is not huge, but I mean, for us we've got about 100 members. That's 20% of our gym on
that's
that
great.
single
Wow,
day.
that's great. Yeah,
Um,
Saturdays are our busiest day, and it's the people are free of work obligations, and we call it our church day. It's like everybody comes in, they hang out, it's fun, it's relaxing.
yeah.
I should probably be there when it happens, but I'm told it's our busiest day.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you don't coach that. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so we like doing Saturdays. It feels a little bit more free and open and not so much crunch time. Also gives me more time to prepare and make sure like, I've got my 27 rolls of tape and everything else. And then we do Monday morning as a makeup, and we do Monday morning instead of Sunday morning because we found a lot of people will go on vacation and they'll be gone, and they will get back on Sunday night, so they can't make up it on Sunday morning. So we set up the Monday morning. So as long as you get back by Sunday night, you can still make up Monday morning. Um, so we also, I will personally email affiliates like wherever they're going and try to find them an affiliate that they can jump into their Friday night lights or Saturday mornings if we can too. So we we usually get, I would say, probably, well, we have Legends clients, so some of our 100 members isn't, they're Legends people. We don't have them do the open, but we probably get like close to 70% participation out of our gym for the open. So,
Wow. And what about completion of the actual workouts?
um,
So assume you get 60, 70 people signing up for the open. How many of them do all 3 workouts?
you'd be surprised, but about 95%.
Wow.
But
That's
um,
cool.
but also I'm a smaller gym. I've got my hands on everything, right? So if somebody's not signing up for the open, I'm sending them the link 10 times.
Right.
But also, I'm double checking with them. What's your plan for the open this week? How are we getting you in here? Make sure you enter your scores, all that. I can, because it's a smaller group, I can stay on top of it a little bit easier. And there's also other things I've done over the years to make sure that people aren't getting burnt out from the open, which
Right.
I think it's a I love the open, but I think one of the biggest problems you have is burnout, both of the owners and the coaches, and then also of the people participating. Um, and so what I've done over the years is we do um, uh, we play it like a real like what I would call like a real sport. You get one shot at it, no reduce. Um, we don't have anybody that's aiming for a super high level or trying to win prize money, so it doesn't make a difference anyways, for that. But like, Bears, I don't know if the Bears play the Packers tonight, right? That's a big rivalry.
Yeah.
If one of them loses, they don't get to say, "Hey, let's bring it back next week, and we'll see who the real winner is next week." Or there's no redos in sports.
No, that's right.
You know, and then I feel like once you start doing the redos, it just kind of becomes a knockdown, drag out thing that you've now done. You took off certain days so you'd be ready for the open. Then you took off days after the open workout so you could recover from it. Then you redid it again, and before long, all we did was like maybe one half-ass workout and two open workouts for the week. You know, so that's I've noticed that it makes it a little bit more fun and people get a little bit less burnt out and they're excited to do it again the next year. But
Yeah, yeah, that's smart.
so
We get,
just
and I think it's probably sheer numbers for us. Like we've got a lot of, I have a lot of members,
yeah.
and and I really push, and I'm pushing aggressively hard this year on open signups. We can get into that in a moment, but um, I'll get. I want to say I don't know. I could go and I could pull up my date on it. I'm probably thinking I get about 70% will do all three workouts.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell our listeners how many people sign up for the open so people know the scale?
Yeah.
Because I'm like
So
51 people.
yeah. So last year was 194. The year before that was 214, and our goal this year is 300 to sign
Wowza.
up for the open. And
300 be
we're
awesome.
going hard. I've told them I told my members and my coaches I expect 100 signups on the first day on February 14th. So we're pushing hard. I want to set an example within the community. I want to. I'm a big. One of the things I've done reflecting on kind of the open and everything else in CrossFit in general, is that when there is a massive open, and the energy is high and the announcements are great, our business does really well. It's just the energy is positive and it lasts throughout the year. And I think it's
Mhm.
true overall for CrossFit. You go back to some of the best opens, 13, 14, 15. Those were just the phenomenal opens and phenomenal years for CrossFit in general. And granted, it's a lot of it's correlation. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
correlation and causation, but um, one of the things that is true is that the pundits, the people that that evaluate CrossFit, and give you an indication of the health of CrossFit, they measure it by participation in the open. And you'll see, the numbers get published, and it's like everybody talks about it. Here's why it's big. Here's why it's not big. All of it, and massive open would turn the tide from a media perspective to from well it's CrossFit's dead or CrossFit's dying or CrossFit's suffering or the CrossFit games is going away. All of that stuff would reverse all of that literally overnight
Hmm.
and get people excited about CrossFit the methodology, but CrossFit the sport as well. The athletes make more, the sponsors get more attention, the affiliates get more activity within their gyms, and all of that benefits the entire, and I hate this word, benefits the entire ecosystem
Hmm.
and creates an amazing energy. So I've been passionate about reaching out to other affiliate owners. I've reached out to the media people. I'm annoying the crap out of them.
That's
I've
good.
reached out. I sent a pretty lengthy email to all of the field leaders. There's something like 20 or so field leaders at CrossFit regional, the regional managers. imploring them to drive drive participation in the open this year. And they've done a couple of things. One of the things that I asked for, I don't know if it ended up coming from my idea or not. Earlier, late last year, I asked for some way to allow my members to sign up for the open through our platform. I said, if you could, if you could just make them click a button on the Diablo app, the push press app,
It'd be
say
so
sign up
much
for the
easier.
open, oh man, but the participation overnight would be so much bigger.
Hmm.
And I get there's the constraints of technology and linking the CrossFit Games app to all these push press apps, all these other Mind Body and Modify and all these others. And I said, at a minimum, though, if you could get a code that I could purchase open registrations and then give them out, that would be awesome.
Hmm.
And they did it this year, which is represents so far. It's been, for us, it's been cool, and I'm pushing them to put it out to everybody else. So I'm sending that out to everybody I know. Hey, here's a way if you want to drive some participation. Maybe give free open registrations to your coaches. And at Diablo, I bought a bunch of them to give away at our holiday party, and I put them on a card, essentially the code on a card, and put it underneath their seats. And so that
Oh,
there,
cool.
there was 10 of them at our party, and people reached under their seats, and then they pulled it out. And we had everybody come up and take a picture. It was an easy way. And so then just a few days ago, I have a guy in our gym he's just a passionate CrossFitter. He's just one of those, just one of the fun people in your gym. You know who those people are that just everybody knows, everybody loves. He's always joking around. He's pretty damn fit, and he's a real estate agent. And a lot of people in the gym use him just because it's Rod. His name's Rod Abdul Husseini. So we call him Rod Abdo, and he's just a lovable guy. And I said, "Hey, dude," I said, and he's asked me, "Hey, are there any things like I could sponsor, I could do?" And I'm always kind of struggling to come up with ideas. I'm like, "Oh shit, buy some freaking coupon codes."
Yeah.
So he
No,
bought,
that's cool.
he bought 25 coupon codes and put them on the back of his card, his business card, and gave them to all my coaches and staff.
Ah, nice.
He got them
That's cool.
all free, open registrations, free open registrations. And
That's
so
cool.
that kind of stuff, I'm pumping that out and getting that out and getting people to get excited. And there's a lot of other ideas um, that affiliate owners can leverage to help drive participation. But if we all get on board and we all push really hard, it would make a massive difference for CrossFit, the affiliates, the sport, the athletes, the community, the sponsors, everybody. And that benefits everybody. There's people that get, no, I don't want private equity to get my money. I don't want to give my $20 to Dave Castro, whatever the hell it is that everybody's, people get upset about. At the end of the day, when you walk into your gym, I know this, when you walk into your gym and you see what CrossFit has done for transforming lives. I have a woman yesterday that, Christian and Evelyn, she's lost well over 100 pounds with us. She comes from a family of very obese people. Her mom weighed like 400 pounds. Her grandmother weighed like 700 pounds. Her aunt weighs over 500 pounds. And she has transformed her life. And she said to me yesterday, she was sitting in our lobby and I walked by and she goes, Craig, she was exhausted. She just got done working out. And I misunderstood what she said. She goes, this gym has added years to my life. And I thought she said to me, this gym has taken years from my life. I'm like, and I literally got a little bit defensive. I go, what? And she goes, no, it's added years to my life. Do you know what? And I'm like, oh shit. Oh yeah. She goes, this place is freaking amazing, Greg. It really is amazing in terms of the people, the connection, the excitement I feel here. And she goes, and I wouldn't do this hard work anywhere else.
That's
And when you
awesome.
see that and you hear stuff like that, and then you know that the open, she's going to do the open, but you know that the open and participation in the open and the growth of the open helps create that or helps contribute to that and draws people into CrossFit for that, it's so worth $20, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's like,
if you think for $20, you get to participate in an event 3 weeks in a row, right? And that alone is worth $20. now you also get to watch semifinals on different weekends throughout the years. You get to watch the games on one weekend. Like it helps pay for all of that. That's a pretty good bang for your buck for $20.
And you
You know?
and you know that, especially if you've done it, you know that you have done the same thing they've done. They did
Mhm.
what you did, and now
They-
they're,
yeah.
now they're on, YouTube or on TV, and competing against each other. You competed against those people. Let me tell you what. Another one that I really like. From time to you do this throughout the year. I'm sure is at your gym is you'll post an old open workout because there's some great ones, right?
Sometimes,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so right, so we do that. We'll post probably throughout the year. I think I want to say probably 8 to 10 open workouts get published in our programming. And one of the things I like to do every time I do it, I have a sense of dread just because I've done most of them, and I know, or if not, I think I've probably done every single open workout ever, and I just know how I felt during them.
Hmm.
But what's really cool is I can look back, like if it's a 2011 or 2013 or 14 open, when I was probably my fittest at CrossFit, I'd look back and I'd pull up my score and I see what I got, and I try to get within that range. That's worth $20. Being able to have that record where I can
Hmm.
go back and say, okay, I did that, and
Hmm.
compare it. And here's the other thing. This is- The the when I do the open, I go and I'll pull up my score and I'll look in my age group because I'm an age group athlete, 63 years old this year. And I'll pull up and I'll see the guys around me. I'll look for guys that I competed with in the past years and that I actually, went to the games with, and look, and I see where they are and how they're doing. And some of them are like in countries around the world, right? And I'll look and I'll compare. And I'm like, oh man, I used to kick that guy's ass all the time. I'm not going to let that guy beat me again. And and I think that there's someone else somewhere in the world that's probably doing that to me. There's that annoying critic that's, podcasts and stuff and preaching. I'm going to kick that guy's ass. And it's motivating and inspiring to other people. That's worth $20. And that
Yeah.
happens not just at the competitor level, that happens at every level. You go, you know who the guys are, you pull your name up, you know who the people are around you. Maybe the ones that live near you, maybe the ones in the same state, maybe the ones around the world. That's fucking worth $20. That right there. And then you get 3 really cool workouts over 3 weeks. And these are good workouts. I mean, make no mistake, every single open workout is a pretty damn good workout. Some of them are awesome. Some are harder than others, but all of them are pretty damn good workouts. You're paying $6.67 a workout.
Yeah.
I think
Another
it's worth it.
uh, another thing that people don't realize too is you can, because you're tapping into that global community, right? You know where you sit at in your gym. I get my ass kicked by this person. I kick this person's ass,
Yeah.
especially in a smaller gym like mine where there's not a huge sample size. Expanding that out to a lot more people can help you contextualize a little bit more where you sit. Whether you're the fittest person at your gym and you're in a small pond and you expand out and you're getting your ass kicked by, you're like, oh, this is how good people really can be, or whether you're the worst person in your gym, but your gym's just really fit. And then you go and do it and you go, oh my God, I beat all these people. Like I am not fit, you know? And let's be honest, that's just out of people who go to CrossFit gyms. It's not just taking like your average person over at Walmart or whatever. Um, so I think that's a cool way to contextualize too. It makes it, you see what all your effort all year long is, and then obviously the percentiles. I love the percentiles. Make it, it doesn't even like you were saying you're comparing to people you've competed against before. It doesn't even matter if you beat the person from wherever, as long as that percentile is pushing forward or staying the same. You can see progress in that way too, as opposed to
Yeah.
just individual competition.
There's a number of gyms, I've heard it, that run really awesome intramural opens, and they'll bundle and they charge their members, 30, $40 for that, and they run it and they don't run it and they don't post their scores online. They don't register for the open. Um, I understand how that happens, right? Running a gym, especially smaller gyms, can be cost prohibitive, and then members go, "Well, why should I pay for the open if I'm, paying for coming to your gym?" And so the owners forego that representation on the open leaderboard, and maybe it's just so that they can avoid judging and that kind of stuff. I would encourage those people. Here's your opportunity to use the code that they put out for the coupon code for free open. Um, Instead of $40 for a shirt and participation in the open, charge $50. Take $20, buy those codes. You've cut your profit margin by $10, basically. Do the
Mhm.
shirts, do the open, and get them on that leaderboard. What's cool about it is in terms of scoring, you can download the CSV file, you can copy and paste their scores in the open sheet onto your scoring system and use that there. You can give points for the scale, you can give points for foundations, you can include everybody. But what you have done is you brought them into a global community, and you created a permanent record that they will have for as long as they do CrossFit, whether it's with you or whether they move somewhere else and do it, that'll always be there. But you brought them into a global community that is focused on the improvement of the health and fitness of everyone that does it. And they're part of it, and they get to do it at the same exact time, just for by simply changing your pricing structure, giving a code, and getting everybody on board. And then now you've helped CrossFit, the methodology that is changing lives, and it has allowed you to have that business that you've started for literally maybe on nothing or very little money. And it is the give back to CrossFit.
Mhm.
It's not going in anybody's pocket. It's not going to private equity's pocket. It's not going to Dave's pocket. The CrossFit Games, Dave will tell you it's profitable, and I'm sure it is on paper. It's profitable, but I can tell you, they spend almost 100% of the money that comes in to make that such an amazing event for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's, and this is what we had a conversation about the WFP. No one's getting rich, and
Well, if it
anybody
comes,
that's doing these regional competitions, these semifinal competitions, no one is getting rich doing these things. I've been in this for 20 years. I've run tons of competitions. I was one of the founders of the Grid League. I know how much all of this stuff costs. $20 is a steal to participate in a 3-week online competition that leads to so much more down the road for athletes and for our community. So
yeah,
I can't say it enough. Get everybody signed up for the open.
love it. All right. Well, enough about being in our fields then. We'll get to maybe some hot takes possibly depending on how it's answered. But um, here's a thought I've had. Do you think that the RX division should have a minimum work requirement? Um, so I encounter this every year. We'll do a workout and I'll watch a person who maybe can't do double unders, right? Say, we'll say that rowing workout, rowing deadlift, double under workout, right? And you'll hear people on the internet say like, oh, as long as you get to you do it RX, you do one deadlift at 185, and that beats all the other scaled scores. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of torn. Like I feel like, man, if somebody goes and does the scaled and gets 10 rounds and crushes it and shows that they have a great work capacity, they just might not have double unders yet or whatever. Um, Man, I kind of think that that should beat like somebody who only gets 2 rounds of the RX or something, you know? Uh,
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that,
oh, okay.
and 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 I like the idea of a minimum work requirement. And so the question becomes, how do you um, deliver a minimum work requirement um, without um, without offending or pushing away people from participating in the open overall? And can you
Hmm.
do it effectively? And and maybe it's just like what you allow in terms of scoring
Hmm.
um, on the scoreboard, like in terms of placement overall on the scoreboard, scaled versus not scaled. because I would agree with you. Maybe it's just a simple formula they can come up with. Look, if you get 5 rounds of this scaled, you now are in the you're
You're
now
here.
in
Yep.
the yeah, in the competing against RX, and those RX people move down to this level.
I
Look,
I've always thought that it was a
I'm
cool idea because
yeah,
you got those shirts. Scaling is cool, but
yeah.
as soon as you get to the open, so all of a sudden scaling ain't so cool. Like,
Well, yeah, that's a really good point. Here's the other thing that happens too, and this is something that masters athletes struggle with because it's very frustrating. My wife, who's been to 5 or 6 or 7 CrossFit games, she's gonna hopefully she doesn't hear this
uh-oh.
part. Yeah, you will get people that are specialists, meaning they are great Olympic lifters, but suck at double unders.
Mhm.
And really won't end up at they might make the next stage of competition, but they sometimes they won't. And their score as a specialist, because they can do a clean and jerk at in the top 10 percentile, they drive down the scores of all the other athletes that have better overall work capacity. And then they'll do a workout with doubles, and they maybe not even do the workout, or they'll scale it,
Phone
or
phone it in.
or phone it in, yet their score on that specialty workout drove down the performance of others. The idea of a minimum work requirement would alleviate that, because
Yeah.
in the reality is it shouldn't, in the true sense of CrossFit, increase work capacity across broad time on the domains, and not favoring the specialist. It's one
Yeah.
of the things I know CrossFit has struggled with. I don't remember the A's and B scores, where part A is this part and part B is this part. And
Oh, yeah.
back in the day, we used to figure out how to try to game that, and we talk to our athletes, because especially for team
For
scoring.
teams, it's a huge thing.
Yeah, remember that?
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And we would, so because everybody in the gym is on the team, and I make sure, dude, you do not skip this workout. We need your 600-pound deadlift, for this one.
Yeah.
By
No,
the way,
that's
I have 2 people in my gym, dude, that, because we did max deadlift last week. We had 2 people in my gym that deadlifted over 600 pounds,
whew,
and I had
doggy.
2 athletes. 2 that sometimes I'm just shocked by the results that I look at. I'm like, holy crap! 2 athletes over 600. I had 2. We did the CrossFit Total last week. And those same 2 athletes had over 1,200 total pounds of the CrossFit, in the CrossFit Total, which is the strict press, the back squat, and deadlift,
Mhm.
within a 20-minute time frame. 3
Man,
attempts.
oh, man.
2 of them over 1,200. And get this, I deadlift. I'm bragging here now a little bit, but I had 3 athletes that deadlifted 3 times their body weight or more.
3
Isn't that
times.
crazy? 3
Holy shit.
athletes that did 3 times their body weight or more.
That's crazy. I'm trying to think
I
of
know.
oh, man. Yeah,
So, this
that's an
one,
impressive number.
Kareem, the guy, he weighs like about 140 pounds, and he had like 465 or something on his deadlift. Yeah, it's nuts.
That's a
Like, two,
crazy number.
yeah,
Triple body weight's
triple
awesome.
body weights, amazing. I think it's actually more amazing than well, the 600 guys didn't get 3 times body weight. They had like 2.5 times body weight.
Okay. Oh, wow. So those
They're
people,
big dudes, dude. They're giant dudes. Yeah,
that's even separate from them. I assumed at
yeah,
least one of them was like a 200-pound guy that hit
yeah. Both
600
of
and got
those guys,
triple.
the 600s now, the 600s, both those guys weigh like 240, 250.
Okay, so that means that you got 5 people with crazy impressive
Yeah.
deadlifts in your gym, right?
Yes. We're
That's
pulling
awesome.
gym. We're pulling gym. And so we're looking for that specialty workout.
Yeah.
Don't
One
ask them
rep.
to do hands. Don't ask them to do handstand push-ups. Although they get mad if they heard that, because I think both of them could do handstand push-ups pretty good, because they got strict presses that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that was that's one thing. I don't know why that one really grinds my gears. So does the max lift. I
Yeah.
hope they
Yes.
work that out, and just that's all programming. I think we're getting better about that, but
Yeah, they
um,
are, right?
you know,
Yeah, but that's the 3-week limitation, coming all the way back to your first question.
Yeah.
because that's the 3-week limitation. Like,
But there's
I
ways to
got
work that
to the
in
gym, like,
too.
oh, I want to lift. I want to lift. Okay. Yeah, I get it. But it's really dangerous with a 3-week competition, in my opinion. Not dangerous. It's just, it skews the scale.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then you better also do a 1 mile time trial and a max rep ring muscle up event too,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the equivalent.
Hmm.
That's the equivalent.
So
This is gonna get cut up and just and put somewhere totally out of context.
I think we're pretty
Are
soft
we
on the
safe?
hot takes. I think so. Yeah. Um, what was let's see here. We already went over that one. What do you think we this is do you like the repeats or are you a no repeat guy in the open?
I like the repeats. I
Really?
like the
Ah,
repeat. Yeah, I know. In the you know what I like the repeats for is not from an athletic or performance point of view. It's a community point of view.
yeah. I,
Community, because people, it creates a little nostalgia. People are like, oh, I remember this workout. Here's how we did this workout, and they give something to it's one of those things that attaches my community to the open itself.
mhm.
It's like, okay, oh, okay, I get why this whole open thing, why it's important for me to do the open and put my score in.
I hate the repeats unless it's from like a long time ago.
Yeah.
I really don't like the 2 to 3 year repeats. Like it's like,
Oh, okay, I'll go with you on that.
it's like, wow, we just did this. And I still remember how bad it hurts. I still remember that I threw up after I got done. And I just don't like, yeah, I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of it. I was, you know, my fittest a decade ago. And
Right,
so it's not a lot of times it's not getting better anyways. Like I'm kind of going down as it
right.
goes along. Granted, I can beat some years where I had a busy year recently, but for the most part, it's kind of a downhill slope from age 27 to now. So that's the thing I tell masters all the time is like people who started late. I'm like, listen, this is pretty cool because you get better for a long time.
Yeah,
I said, my
they
best
do.
years were without a doubt 10 years ago.
Same here.
Like,
No, and I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
so,
And it's
uh,
it's hard to look back on those. Hey, I'm
yeah.
out of time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, we already broke past an hour, so
Yep.
we'll have to talk quarterfinals versus Community Cup next
Oh,
time.
I'd love to do it. No, and I'll have you on ours too. We're gonna fire up our engines again on our podcast. I'd love to have you on there. I enjoy talking to you.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Well, yeah, we'll end this. And thank you so much for coming on. I think a lot of people will find this insightful, and I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Jake, thank you very much, dude. Appreciate what you do and all you do
yeah,
for CrossFit and love your affiliate, dude.
awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for listening, guys. If you can, like and subscribe, and don't forget, more protein, less bullshit.